What's up, guys? This is Todd here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my first ever edition of the Motormouth Talk Show, where me and my fellow characters get to talk about the M.T.N stuff going on, what went on in the past, and what will be going on in the future. The lighting in this room was earlier really horrible, so I had to borrow this lamp here. Got my iPad right there, and right now I think we need to introduce ourselves. My name is Todd. I'm more known to be the play-by-play commentator for the Monster Truck Nation events, M.T.N. This is Alex right here, my buddy in the M.T.N shows. Really started out as a pit reporter. Sonic, who is currently our pit reporter, and sometimes a color commentator as well. Robert, you may not have seen him before. Harry is going to be a future broadcaster. Tails, who's been on M.T.N a couple of times. Moody the dog. We have the dog, our starter. The guy who operates the starting light. Blue Jay, who's a lead official, who's an official. Sid and Manny, who are going to be future broadcasters on our broadcasting crew, and Archie Mr. Archie the dog here, who's going to be is going to part-time be a pit reporter and sometimes be play-by-play. Yeah, that's right. Congratulations to Bigfoot, who won the Thunderdrags Series championship. We've got Pumbaa here just visiting. Spot, who's really one of the officials, and Callie over there, the old-timer, who's badly beaten up, but is our competition director, and Shadow, who I understood to be you were going to be a future broadcaster as well, and also drive the Mind Blower truck and the sign-up jamboree. Yeah, I picked that truck to represent the Chevrolet Cap. I've watched a lot of your events before, Todd, and wanted to sign up for the sign-up series jamboree series. I was looking for a different truck. I finally found one called the Mind Blower. I was looking for a lot of horsepower and ended up in the Chevrolet Cap. All right, Shadow, we're looking forward to see a lot of you in the future M.T.N shows. Anyway, guys, let's talk about what has happened in the M.T.N Thunderdrags Series. We have been through a lot. And Tails, tell us how pretty much the season went from your standpoint.
Well, when I first watched it, Kirk Dabney, and it was event 3, I believe. Kirk Dabney and the Barefoot Truck won events 1, 2, and 3, and pretty much dominated the early part of the season.
And let's see what the finals was in that particular show. Let's see. And Tails is right. Barefoot, Kirk Dabney, and the Barefoot Truck did actually dominate the early part of the season. If I can get to it here. Here's how Alex and I called that race.
Barefoot taking on Chad Tigler
Now this is a rivalry for the finals that has been lasting a very long time. Yeah, Tom, you are right.
Sonic and I, excuse me.
Taking on Barefoot. Coming to it. Oh, Barefoot takes the victory, and Chad Pickler's in trouble, and he's over on his roof. The Gravedigger is runner-up, but he lands on his roof to do it. Holy cow! Now,
Sonic, you and I called that race. How was the race? How was that final between Barefoot and Digger in Event 3 from your standpoint? It was pretty spectacular, you know. Digger has a lot of horsepower, and Barefoot has a lot of horsepower as well. And when they came over the final set of cars, Digger was spun way out of control and flipped over on his roof. And that was a pretty wild race. Race indeed. If I can get Alex over here. You got to put the camera down for a minute. Alex, could come over here, will you, man? Alex, tell me, how you and I called a lot of those M.T.N. Thunderdrags Series races. How was the season to you?
Well, you know, the crowd loved it. It was a very good atmosphere. And Bigfoot scored 4 wins and several runner-ups. A lot of guys really got their trucks tore up. They're really putting them back together now for the next season.
All right, that's Alex for us, and before we do close, and we got pretty much about 4 minutes left before I have to shut this thing off because each video is mainly for 15 minutes. I really want to go forward a bit, all the way to event number 9, the live event edition, guys. First time we ever done it. I used this very camera that I'm holding right here to do it. And it was a spectacular event that we ever put on. It was wild. It was intense, and it came down to Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger. Dennis Anderson, who is debuting a brand new Gravedigger truck, and Bigfoot number 6, with Rich Hooser and here's how we called that race.
Rich Hooser in the Bigfoot car.
Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger won that race, guys, and I really think we should think that we really should have more events like this in the near future, wouldn't you say? I think so. We put a lot of trucks in that series. 36 total competed. And it was a pretty spectacular feat right there, having all those 12 trucks, capturing the qualifying and the racing competitions in that event number 9 of the Thunderdrags. And let's not forget now. Now Bigfoot's the world champion, and Barefoot finished as second in the points. So these two pretty much duked it out throughout the season. You're right about that, Sid. Sid, as guys, before we do go off the air, let's look at the season finale. Finale event number 12. There was in the last three events there was a rivalry developing between the two most legendary trucks. In my opinion, the two most, what I think in my opinion are the most two legendary trucks. USA 1, the Chevrolet, who actually turned out to be a contender after arriving late in this series, and Bigfoot, the original monster truck. Truck 10 and 11, they duked it in events 5, 10, and 11. They literally duked it out in the finals. They win each other 3 times. 2 out of 3, Bigfoot ended up being the winner. And I want to really take a look at what happened in Louisville, Kentucky, event 11 in Freedom Hall. Before we get to the final point standings here, this was the rivalry developing in this series.
Showtime.
Here's how we called it.
What the hell is that? Here, Wilkie pulls the trigger.
They coming to the line. Oh, I don't know. That was a very, very close race.
And it was a close race indeed, and USA 1 actually ended up being the winner. Bigfoot, who ended up as the world champion, won the points championship. Here's a look at the final point standings. It was Bigfoot who will walk away as the points champion. Then it'll be Barefoot, Carolina Crusher, Gravedigger, USA 1 rounding out the top 5. Then it was Sampson, Raising Cane, King Crunch, Stone Crusher, and Tom Ince, who drove Bulldozer in that series, in the top 10. Then it was Executioner, driven by Mark Hall, Taurus, Monster Patrol, Lion X, who only made 2 appearances in the series, and actually raced Bigfoot in the final in the last event of that season, who's in 14th place. 15th we'll have Aftershock, and in the top 20 we'll have Hot Wheels, Equalizer, Blue Thunder, Rambo, Western Renegade, and Western Renegade rounding out top 20. Top 25 will be Spider-Man, Avenger, Power Ford, Rap Attack, who only made 1 appearance, and Backdraft, who made only 1 appearance as well. Then it will be Excalibur, Maximum Destruction, Iron Man, El Toro Loco, and Rampage rounding out top 30. And then rounding out the field, we had Thrasher, Nitro Hornet, Snakebite, Virginia Giant, Bounty Hunter, Metal Militia, and Nightmare. 37 trucks competed in this spectacular series. I couldn't think of any better way, other way than to end it. And it ended in a very poetic fashion indeed. Indeed, as Team Bigfoot scored 4 wins and probably 5 or 6 runner-up finishes. That's what it takes to be a consistent driver, and that's how Bigfoot won the world championship. To all the guys who are out here in this portion of the M.T.N. of the Motormouth Talk Show, to y'all fans out there, I'm Tom Todd. Thanks for being with us for our first edition. Good night, everybody.